This familiar factory works, not
But we had to have it, and of course, it had to be in this game.
I think Cornwallis. I think you're still jealous of your old buddy Kelvin from back in college.
No, he's jealous.
I suggested maybe, I don't know.
I totally gave him that idea.
A parsec.
Wait, is that a measurement of time or distance?
Yes.
So a bit of housekeeping before we actually launch into playing. As I recall, I gave out an advance at the end of last session.
Oh.
So for Mrs. Featherston and Dr. Cornwallis, you can recharge your story points and upgrade a skill, or if you have a skill that is already at 3 and would like to or higher, and pick a specialty or another specialty depending on what you have, you can do so.
No attribute boost on this one? Just
nope,
skills?
Just a skill.
Okay, cool.
Mad skills.
Bryce, what did I raise? Did I raise technology or something?
I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember if I raised anything.
Is it
I think you raised. Yeah, I think you raised tech. Because I'm pretty certain your tech was a 1, and then
it was. You're right. Never mind. Because I kept thinking, I think I raised technology.
I know I raised something, but I forgot.
5 or 6 the maximum?
It's already in there.
The thing with 6 is the maximum because that kind of makes you like the world's best of things. You're getting higher than you're getting higher than 6, and then it's like you turn to computers and aliens and stuff.
Okay.
I've been hanging around the Cybermen for quite some time now.
So Bryce, I can't remember if I raised anything. I don't think I did, but I may have.
I don't remember if you did or not.
Was this for the last session?
Yeah. Last session.
You couldn't have. You weren't here.
I was here last session.
You were?
Yes.
Yeah, he missed Dresden Files. He was here for Torchwood.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sorry, never mind.
Well, go ahead and I hate to cheat you out of a raise, so just go ahead and raise something.
Criminology's a 5. Good googly goop.
Goob.
Could you repeat that, sir?
Good googly goop?
Yes.
The pearly dewdrops drop.
No, wait a minute. Did I take disguise from Office Subterfuge? I think that's what I did.
Wait, yes, you did. That's right.
What I did.
Yeah, I remember that. Because
I don't think that was there before.
Yeah, no, you were looking. I remember. Yeah, no, I remember you were looking at areas of expertise.
Okay, sorry.
Alrighty.
All right.
So, one does not merely walk into Mordor. It does sound like a better idea. It'd be better if we threw the whole gentleman with the crown into the molten, hot, boiling metal.
I would like to point out one thing, though, since we're talking about adding immense fire and heat to this thing. We already saw what this did with an unknown source of energy, how it hovered of its own accord. It must make you wonder what adding that kind of energy to it what effect it would have on it. To be honest, we don't know a lot of this, and we don't know if we actually destroy it, what will happen. It could be actually end in a large explosion.
Or if you use the watch, it won't be able to actually absorb anything, and it'll just fall in and burn up. Or it could do that, right?
I like to be certain of my things before I try them most times, unless I'm experimenting. And I was told to destroy it.
When aren't you experimenting exactly?
Huh?
When aren't you experimenting?
All the way up until I discover. You must test to reach discovery.
does this not seem circular to anyone else?
Fine.
Just saying,
Fine.
no, I'm just.
What? Fine. You want to destroy it with fire?
Not
Fine.
fire.
I pull a lever on my device, and a shield comes down over the casing.
I hate when he gets all pouty like this.
How come I never noticed this before?
You know, tell him he can't have something he wants. Look what happens. Now look at him. Now he's sulking.
Turn a lever or a wheel.
Remember Tesla? There was a scientist.
There's a stutter in the turning of the crank. And then
It got real all of a sudden here.
Wow.
you might want to go back take a step a few feet back. I'm not certain what this amount of fire will do to it.
Cornwallis, please. Please. And you know me, I'm not one to try to go out of my way to make you happy, but for the moment, just hear us out. Okay? Time and space is all nice and everything, right? We live in it, I guess, if I'm to understand some of the things that you've said.
Yes,
right?
in a usually linear fashion, yes.
Okay, all right. And this has the capacity to kind of tie these sorts of things up in knots, right?
If it does, in fact, what it's said to do, yes.
Which is usually bad for people who live in a
Linear.
Yeah, that. Right? So then if that's bad and the linear is good, then I mean, London has issues, big, hairy issues. In fact, I could go on at length about the problems that London has, starting with at the very top and working my way all the way down to the very bottom. And this ridiculous, almost caste system that you all seem to insist on living in. I don't understand that either. I don't know why London has to be better at everything than anybody else. All of that said.
You're American, that's understood.
Exactly. All of that said, I don't want to take chances with that. I mean, everything I like is here.
Hezekiah.
I don't like is here.
I am not disagreeing with you in principle. I'm not disagreeing with you that the ring will ultimately have to be destroyed. In fact, Mrs. Featherstone said for me to find a way to destroy the ring, and thus I will be doing so. But I'm trying to find a way to destroy the ring so it doesn't destroy us. I felt, well, to be honest, I was going to test fire at some point, but I felt that using fire at this point, this stage of discovery, was too early and could have negative effects. I don't know. I guess we'll find out if we all blow up.
We'll find out.
So matter of fact.
And I've taken about 5 steps back away from the column that was holding the ring.
I look at the other scientist, Ms. Dr. Hale.
All I know is
I can't tell if what he's saying is sound. Does that make sense to you?
mostly, yes. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but I can't help but agree. It does need to be destroyed or removed or something, because it's nothing but trouble.
Okay. Well, he'll listen to you. He thinks I'm an idiot. I kind of glanced at him. Do not confirm that one way or the other, Doctor.
I lower my hand.
I think he tends to think that most people are.
I respect you. So
I don't mean this in any insulting way.
Of course not.
Hey, Sheldon.
Okay. All right. Okay. If the people with the glasses and the pointy heads think it needs to keep going, fine. When it blows up, okay. I wander off.
So, Bryce, did the immense fire and heat blow us up? Is the game over?
You have the Oregon Trail screen pops up. You have died of temporal shockwave. Well, the device takes a moment with your cranking to power. They wind the builds as it gets ready to discharge its flame into the chamber to quite literally kill it with fire. There is, you can kind of, the gauges light up as the fire starts to dispense. The machine is making all of the appropriate noises. And then we cut to who is muted and we can't hear her.
Okay, there we go. I hit the wrong button. Here we go. Words. I was telling an epic saga of the mushroom cloud over the London. You guys will just have to use your imagination about how awesome that story was.
You're on your way. You just kind of hear a little rumble, and then in the direction of Torchwood, there's this like a mushroom cloud sticking up. You're like, well, Dr. Cornwallis happened.
Yep. Yeah.
So, you want to be in a secret government organization that just totally didn't blow itself up?
So one available.
Just asking further questions. You're not American, are you? Oh, good.
Come join my top secret government smoking crater. Okay, so when when we last saw Mrs. Featherston,
hello.
You were heading out into the world to send word to the servants to stay away until the danger had passed, so that more of them do not meet the same fate of poor York.
Indeed.
And you were also going in search of our missing witness, Miss Oswald.
Yes, I was.
So, the question is, there was some debate as to whether or not you were going to carry these out yourself, or you were going to find a representative to send into the worst parts of town.
I think I decided to go myself because I'm very confident in my ability to not die. It's fine. They're just giant werewolves. What's the worst that could happen?
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
You'll make them stop with the stir and look.
Yeah, giant werewolves being controlled by a madman. It's fine. I got this.
Oh, nothing could possibly happen. All right. So with the servants, you visiting their houses or?
Yeah, their houses, or if I have, an address of a near and dear loved one.
All right. Well, you do manage to find them all they've all managed to get back to some place that they regard as, safe. They are universally relieved that you and the other members of Torchwood are apparently okay.
Yes.
They are sad that York, and provided you inform them of what happened to York, I suppose.
I'm not sure I would. I mean, there's a lot of ground to cover here, and it's already pretty late. So I don't imagine there's a lot of small talk.
Right. So,
I mean, if the last mate out happened to see, somebody shove Yorick into the maw of a waiting beast, I might tell her sadly he did not survive the encounter.
Find me some time, Yorick. I gotta get to the lab and hide. Well, they were, the visits are short and sweet, and they're relieved that the team is intact, and you get very little resistance to your plan to stay away until this danger has passed.
Yes, we will have to rough it without servants for a while.
Of course, they're appropriately respectful. And, so you are suspended without pay. We have standards and a budget. Thank you. And you'll be receiving half pay since you only worked part of the day and then had to flee a monster attack.
Well, you can't cut a shilling in half.
That sounds like a dare.
Challenge accepted, friends. African Wallace has a tool. All right, so we montage those visits. I believe the evidence you'd found in Justice quarters had pointed you towards a flat down by the wharf.
Yeah.
So it is not a great part of London. Even though it is late, the party here is still in full swing. Of course, you've got workers from the area, longshoremen and whatnot, blowing off steam. People from the various merchant vessels and whatnot, crews and stuff, blowing off steam. So you've got drinking and carousing and ladies of the night, and drunken, slovenly people stumbling about.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that if they had proper jobs and proper careers, they'd be far too tired for all of this revelry. It's a lack of productivity is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, yeah, you draw more than a few stairs, as I can't imagine Mrs. Featherston going incognito and trying to
Slumming
blend
it?
in. Yeah, I have trouble picturing that.
Yeah, me too.
Because you simply can't do that. You're physically incapable.
I mean, she did drop by the house and get a veil.
That's
It's very stylish.
Yeah, that'll work.
Important.
Yeah. I believe I have just enough ranks in subterfuge to know I should do something.
There's a thing that I should do here.
Yes.
Escaping me now, but it'll come to me.
I have a feeling it will. So yeah, you get some stares and some weird looks, a few whistles. Nothing completely untoward though, as you make your way to the building where this flat is.
Well, no, they wouldn't dare.
So you get to you get to the building. It has seen better days, not collapsing in on itself, but you've got the windows are intact at least, but it could certainly use paint and a good cleaning, as it's got some buildup of soot and whatnot. Stairs are not exactly in the greatest of shapes.
I move boldly forward.
Boldly forward. Things are, you get up the steps, you get inside, the floor starts to
Exactly. Yes.
kind of creaking whatnot. As you get inside, there is a woman who's older. She's not indecently dressed, but
Isn't she?
Well, probably by Mrs. Feather's standard, she is.
Probably.
Kind of looks at you, oddly as you come in. It's like, you lost?
What is the name of the friend?
Let's see. Name was Tracy.
Tracy?
Yes.
I'm looking for Tracy.
Like, kind of like, I didn't realize you were her type. Interesting. She's up on the 3rd floor. Apartment C.
I go up to the 3rd floor, apartment C. I don't even thank her.
Looks a bit annoyed.
I'm role playing.
So yeah, the stairs feel like a safety hazard, but they do not collapse from under you as you get up to 3rd floor. Apartment C, not hard to find. So you knock at the door, or do you just go in?
I knock.
Oh, there we go.
My God. I think I am a monster.
Oh, no, they just crashed through the wall. So, door opens crack, and young blonde woman with kind of stringy hair kind of looks through it and like, "Can I help you? I'm not taking appointments tonight."
Mrs. Featherston looks dubious at her word choice. Tracy?
Who wants to know?
I have a piece of mail for you. And she has the envelope with Tracy's address on it.
Don't look like no male person I ever seen.
She just keeps holding it out to her patiently. This becomes a staring contest. Mrs. Featherston will win.
The end of Force Awakens.
Straps the so you're handing it to her through the
Oh
door
yeah,
here,
yeah. I will
Becky?
totally hand it to her through the door.
All right, so she kind of snatches it and grabs it, and like, well, thanks.
I'll wait.
For
You to read it?
oddly put off by what you said there, say, okay. She kind of opens the letter and looks at it and like, where'd you get this?
I think it should be fairly apparent.
So she kind of pauses for a moment and opens the door wider and like, did you want to come in then, or?
Thank you. And she will walk in. Stride in, because I picture her as stridey.
As you come in, the apartment, the flat is dingy as the rest of the building. You've seen it has some furnishings, but
Mostly a
nothing.
bed.
Well, a bed, and you've got kind of you got some chairs and little table you can sit at.
She doesn't.
I wouldn't think so. Kind of looking on from a room, there's a door off the right. You see a pair of eyes. The computer unit turns on. Some good engine going overhead, even though we haven't invented those yet.
Okay.
The eyes kind of grow wide when you walk in, and the door opens, and it is Jeff. Mr. you're okay.
Yes, I am. I'm glad to see you're well as well.
Well, yeah. Dr. Hale told us all to run, so I did. Yeah. Of course, I didn't want to bump into those guys who said they were going to kill me, of course, but it seemed like taking my chances with that was better than with whatever that thing was that broke in.
Well, the teams pulled together some information tonight, and while I do not believe you are entirely out of danger, I do not think you will be specifically targeted, if that is any comfort.
She relaxes. She noticeably relaxes a little bit. Like, well, it's certainly a bit. That's good.
However, it seems that our opponent is aware of where we are located. So I am advising everyone to remain safe. As she looks around kind of dubiously elsewhere.
Oh, I should be pretty safe here. I can blend in. I'm sure she said I could stay for a bit anyway. It's like, yeah, I'll keep an eye on her. Yeah, we can all watch each other's back here.
Mrs. Featherston kind of like, whatever that means. Excellent. I'm very glad to hear it. I wanted to come and tell you myself that should you, once the situation is resolved, should you care to, you would be welcome back.
I was like, really? And I would love that. I've enjoyed my my time I've just really enjoyed my time. I've learned a lot. You know, it hasn't been that long. I've learned an awful lot.
Excellent. It's
really nice not
refreshing.
making living on my back, you know.
Mrs. Featherston chuckles a bit, chortles. I don't picture her as a giggler. It's a light laugh. Yes, well, that comes with the territory. It's been refreshing having someone with similar interests as my own nearby.
Oh. Well, thanks. Well, thank you.
In the meantime, and she reaches into her little purse, pulls out an envelope, and then, you know, hands it to Jess. Consider this a forward. And there's bills in there. Not like a whole hell of a lot, but probably a lot for her.
Oh God, yes. Her eyes was like, mighty generous of you. Yes. Thank you.
I will contact you as soon as it's safe to.
Be careful. I've never seen anything like that. I've never to again.
Nor do I, but I have a feeling we'll see a few more before this is through.
I'm confident you guys will stop whoever's behind this before something really terrible happens.
Oh, she's so naive. As am I. Thank you for your time, Jess, Tracy.
Just kind of nods.
Be well, and she'll toodle off.
Toodles.
Yes. Toodles.
All right. You exit, assuming not loitering or whatnot there.
Yes.
Make your way back out onto the street. The drunken revelry has not subsided at all since you haven't been here that long. It's still going very strong. There are a couple of guys that, from the looks of their outfit, they must work around here.
That's worse?
Kind of. What?
No. Sorry, I've amused myself. That's the important thing.
In the end, that's all that really matters.
True.
They're kind of heading your direction. One of them seems to be trying to stop the other one from heading this way. You kind of get the kind of drunken, slurred speech going between them. Of the one doing the whole invest like, "Oh man, she's too classy for you." It's like, I got this. Clearly, she's down here looking for something.
Mrs. Featherston pays them no mind.
There's plenty of girls over there. Classy. No, it's what I want. Hey, you over there. Kind of barking in your general direction.
Yeah, she pays them no mind.
You're just let it go there. Well, I'm talking to you. Don't just walk away.
One does not notice vermin. It's not polite.
So you kind of do you say the vermin coming out loud, or is that just like internal monologue?
Oh no, that's an internal monologue. That's Andrea explaining to Bryce that unless they physically stop her, she's not gonna stop.
So yeah, the one who was being restrained kind of breaks free of his friend and kind of drunkenly hurries and stumbles, a bit, and kind of puts a hand or starts reaching a hand towards your shoulder to kind of spin you around, kind of a thing. It's kind of one of those things to kind of see it coming, kind of at the peripheral of your vision there.
She kind of does a neat little sidesteppy thing. Like she kind of turns so his hand misses her shoulder. But she stops and levels a stern glare at him. Yes?
I was just you're down here, and I was seeing if you were looking for a good time.
No, thank you.
It's kind of that kind of drunken confusion of not expecting that to be how that answer was phrased there. Why, you too good for us or something? Just buy you a drink.
No, thank you.
Just kind of staring at you, kind of incredulously like, what?
Is there anything else?
Can I buy you dinner?
By this point, his friend kind of comes up, next to him, and is trying to, pull him away, and he looks like he's about to get angry, but then he's distracted. The sky kind of lights up all of a sudden in the general direction that of the observatory at Greenwich would be, also known as Torchwood headquarters. And so while he's about to, drunkenly make an ass out of himself, when the sky kind of lights up, he's kind of like, what?
You'll have to excuse me. She starts walking in that direction.
My office building is burning down.
I have to go. My car hit a water bottle.
I think I left something on. I'm sorry, I gotta go. I left my lab team unsupervised.
Something terrible happened.
That sounds serious. You better handle that.
Didn't Bryce ever tell you don't leave those guys unsupervised?
They do a lot of fun things. They also really, really excel at triggering apocalyptic level events.
Good.
It's really just raw talent, really.
It is.
I mean, you can't duplicate this by accident.
No.
It takes great skill.
Skill. That's skill. It's all skill. I believe you.
It was fate, really.
All right. So I assume, Mrs. Featherston, that you head towards some work then?
I do.
And hide behind your camera and muting it in the process?
Remember that time?
For protection.
unless you want
we
to get
blew up
motion sick.
London?
Oh.
That was awesome.
11. Well, that's a curious vibration. Should we be feeling it through our feet too? Just wondering.
Remember that conversation I said about untested?
All right.
We're testing.
We're testing. Vibrations under feet are normal when testing. Okay.
At times. Sometimes explosions. I take another step back.
I go get a drink. Because that seems like.
True, if this is ground zero, it doesn't really matter where in the house you are.
Yeah, I know. I figure if I'm going to, there's some very good or some alcohol that I've been led to believe is very good, but I don't know, we're drinking in rather large quantities around here lately. And I'm going to drink some because I want to go out happy.
I feel like it's important to ask which alcohol that you're drinking from for reasons.
Wherever you hide the good stuff, that's what I drink.
Well, I wasn't hiding it until recently.
I'm kidding. But it's where you always keep it. I go for that. I'm just glad you keep it on hand.
So the stuff sitting out in the middle of her study.
Yes, quite.
Good.
Quite.
Fantastic.
Wait, is that the stuff that? No, I don't remember.
I think that's the stuff what Lieutenant tasted and was not feeling too good.
Really?
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I guess I'm gonna go down that feeling so well.
It'll be good for a little while.
So we follow Mrs. Featherstone to Torchwood. Miss Featherstone, the light kind of fades a bit as you make your way to Torchwood headquarters.
The light fades or the lights fade?
The light, not the light.
Hashtag asking for a friend.
Neighborhood?
Important distinction.
All right, water obtained.
Excellent. So you arrive, find that the building is intact,
Good.
which is a
That big
good
hole
thing.
on the side, yep.
Not
I'm
well,
worried
besides
about
the big hole. That's established there.
Yes.
If you could give me an awareness and ingenuity roll.
This is to find the missing body parts of your team.
Meanwhile, I must ask of the other members of the team who were actually inside Torchwood when we tried to set fire to the ring, the oversized pocket watch-like object that was recovered from Mr. Chestnut's lab. Did anyone keep that on their person, or is that just sitting in the lab?
Actually, doesn't Dr. Cornwallis still have that?
I know I was holding it to.
When you were holding it when you turned the ring off. Did you keep possession of it? Is my question.
I don't want to be meta about this. I don't know if I would have set it down on my desk when I was done, or. Okay, we'll say I kept it while I was fiddling with it. Just yeah.
Yeah. So,
idly.
Which means
So
that
I still have it.
any and all conversations that were had by Hezekiah and Cornwallis were had at a certain minimum distance in order to keep his guns from going.
True.
Yeah, we had crossed the room.
There'd be that subconscious kind of attempt where I'd kind of take a step forward towards him, step back,
Testing it and whatnot.
not even aware.
Yeah. I'm like, why is he suddenly crowding me? Normally, he wants nothing to do with me.
Why are my holsters so cool? God damn it, Cornwallis.
Just testing the reaction time, but when I sneak up on you and you notice it.
Yeah. I keep a healthy distance. All right.
All right.
So,
So Mrs. Featherston, what? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I am actually pretty much probably back by the door watching all of this.
All right.
Far away.
Mrs. Featherston.
Drinking the alcohol that has a Mickey slipped in it, which is kind of weird.
I did warn everyone to back up. I probably backed up the least, but still. Just because, science, I have to observe the dials.
Yes. So, Mrs. Featherston, what did you roll there? What'd you get?
13.
13.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Nope, you don't notice any of us.
No, well, nope, you don't
Nothing is
notice
a mystery.
anything.
We're not
First glance, things appear to be really pretty normal, despite the fact that the sky lit up not long ago.
Fine.
But then with your 13, you notice something that's odd. There is a bird that next to one of the trees out front, it looks like it has been paused mid-flight.
Oh,
No. Oh, no. Oh, no, I broke time.
oh good. That seems totally normal.
If I could turn back time.
I told you we shouldn't have blown this thing up.
I look at Fitz. Fitz.
Well, actually, we smash cut to inside Torchwood headquarters. Dr. Cornwallis, your machine powered up. It whined as it did. Then there was a different noise, kind of a weird, chiming, higher-pitched whine. Then, before anything that could be done, since it was already in motion, there's a tremendous flash, kind of a weird radiating gold. You're there in your lab, still you're intact. You don't feel hurt or maimed or anything like that. Doesn't take long for you to notice, though, that your fellow Torchwood team members aren't moving. Zakaya's the door with his drink.
Fascinating.
Disaster.
I probably could get a good look at those guns now. No, focus. I go to each of them to make sure they seem to be, alive as best I can. I'm assuming that I'm not going to get a heartbeat since they seem to be frozen in time. But I check anyway.
You get no vitals for anyone.
But not to worry. If they're frozen within time, then so would their vitals. Okay. Nothing else is damaged. Correct?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
There is, however, a large angel
Just
statue.
reality.
Yeah, you may want to deal with that and don't blink.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I am gonna go look at the ring, I guess, because I can't really do anything about them as of yet. I'm gonna try to analyze the. Why did I not go freeze? Huh. I started looking at the watch.
Well, it's mostly a you're looking at it, and it's mostly it's not an actual pocket watch. It's the size and kind of shape of an oversized pocket watch.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's there. It's got its markings and whatnot. Feels a bit warmer in your hand.
Interesting. I'm probably. I don't know that I can get any yeah, I want to get a look at the watch. Is it obvious that my machine has? Well, it's frozen, so it's. Would I know that it's like stopped its testing of heat, or can I manipulate it in any way?
When you get close to it with the watch, you're able to actually the machine kind of springs to life a bit there. Otherwise, it seems to be kind of frozen like everything else.
Okay. Then approaching with the watch, I'm going to shut it down, my machine.
Interesting.
Because, I mean, that's the only thing that's changed recently, so it must be that's causing all of it.
Why don't you give me ingenuity and...
Can't I just automatically succeed?
What's the fun in that?
What's the fun in that? We have mechanics for a reason. We're going to use them.
You have story points.
Yeah. Why don't you give me ingenuity and technology? Yeah, technology.
Does my gadgetry come into play or no?
Sure, we'll let that go.
Okay, cool. This seems like an important thing.
I don't know why you think that.
So I'm going to spin the story point.
Right. And while you do that, Mrs. Featherston, what do you do outside of Torchwood?
Okay, so have I already passed the bird?
No, you have not. You have not passed the bird. You noticed it before you passed the bird.
I attempt to discern if the bird is the word. So I'm a little concerned that this effect is somehow contagious. I mean, I feel like the concept of time bubbles are beyond her, but that is really, really freaking weird. So I think she's probably gonna pick up like some smaller rocks from the pavement, just kind of toss them in the general direction of the house to see if they also stop in midair, because that's not something we're getting into. Just saying.
All right, so you pick the you pick the rocks up, and you it's very scientific. The scientific method of throwing rocks in there. It's very, very scientific. You pick the rocks up. You throw them in there, and they travel for a bit as rocks do, and then land.
Cool. All right. Assuming that the way is safe to proceed, I am going to stride in to find out what the hell is going on.
Well, okay. So I'm assuming you head for the lab. You're not going to check out other part, like heading for the kitchen or something like that.
I mean, that does seem to be where the trouble is centered on. I just saying. Sure, it has nothing to do with the people who frequent the lab.
You arrive in the lab. You find by the doors Hezekiah with a drink. Dr. Hale is down there. Fitz is down there. Lieutenant is down there. They don't seem to be moving, much like the bird. The only thing moving here is Dr. Cornwallis, who is at his machine doing something.
What did you do?
I probably jump a little bit, not expecting anyone to. The group wanted to destroy the ring by fire. I thought it was unwise to do that at this course, but they seemed adamant that it was the only way. They wanted to take it to a forge of some kind. I thought it best to at least keep it in a controlled environment, so I tried to destroy the ring by fire. This happened.
That sounds like a little kid.
Not my fault.
I didn't do anything. I didn't freeze time. They made me freeze time.
For some reason, the watch that I am currently holding kept the effect from happening to me. I believe it has absorbed whatever energy was dispelled. I am trying to manipulate the machine to stop it testing on the ring. I seem to only be able to do that while holding this watch. And I go back to the machine and start working the dials.
I'm gonna go make some tea.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, Mrs. Featherston goes to make tea. So you are able to manipulate the machine and switch it into the off position, but does not seem to unravel the effects, though.
Okay. Can I see the ring? Is it hovering like it did that time before?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is most surely hovering. It is got the weird blue hue. The writing, the etchings are kind of lit up with the gold stuff, but there's a tiny fracture in it where there's this kind of brilliant golden energy just kind of snaking out of it.
I am going to touch it or get very close, put the watch very close to it this time since it seemed to take away the power last time. If I have to, I'm going to open up the case and get close enough to even. If it doesn't have an effect, I'm going to open up the case and then get almost to touching it with the watch. But I'm starting at a distance.
Being very careful this time.
So you do that, except while the kind of lights around it dim a little bit, however, it does not solve it this time. In your scientific opinion with that 23, whatever dampening properties this watch has is currently overmatched by the sheer amount of energy being output.
And nothing else seems to be working.
Well, also, with that 23, you do remember that it was putting out temporal energy the last time that you tested it. When you used the actual test, not the destructive testing that you did here. It would. What?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So yeah, it's while you don't have the readouts here, it would seem that it is putting out significantly more energy, probably because it is actually damaged.
Oh boy.
But I mean, if your travel through the wormhole has taught you anything, is that time can flow in in different directions. You could conceivably reverse the polarity.
Okay. Yeah, that is something that Cornwallis would think of that William may not. Yeah, I will get to work on trying to do that. Can I do that with my equipment presently, or do I have to make modifications?
Well, you'll have to make a few modifications, but it won't take very long.
Okay, I'm going to get to work on it immediately. I would like to try to get this resolved before Miss Featherstone gets her tea ready. Since I seems she is highly upset, so I'd like to try to resolve this as quickly as possible.
Can't imagine why she would be.
No.
I felt this was a rash action, but I don't know. Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna blame anyone, especially not Hezekiah. I'm gonna start reversing the polarity. Who am I lying to? Of course, I'm gonna blame Hezekiah.
You haven't even really invented buses yet.
I'm gonna invent a bus so I can throw them under it.
Strictly speaking, they had the omnibuses already.
Well,
Just
there
pull
we
them
go.
with horses.
There you
Threw them
go.
under the
Okay.
omnibus.
Throw you under a.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. That's really appreciated.
I appreciate that pointing out that historical fact, Bob. Thank you. Okay.
Throw you under a horse-drawn bus.
I'm sure it'll be no less painful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah, give me an ingenuity, technology, and gadgetry roll here.
Ingenuity, technology,
Ingenuity,
gadgetry.
technology, gadgetry.
I almost said like ignudity. I don't know why that came out. Okay. I will. I picked up 4 dice and rolled them, so I'm just going to go ahead and spin the story point since I did that.
You also get to add +2 for your technically adept there.
Oh wow. Because that's a really good roll. Okay. So 21, 91, 35.
Wow.
I wrote 21 on the dice.
Well, that's quite the roll. So yeah, you're able to reverse the polarity of your tester and attempt to create the opposite of what happened during the first testing.
I look around at my comrades and everything to see if things have returned back to normal.
Well, I assume we have to turn it on there.
Yeah,
and whatnot,
okay. I flipped the switch.
You flip the switch, and the machine with you there, creating, using the pocket watch there, shutters to life, starts hitting the ring, and takes it a minute. The crack in the ring reverses, like the energy starts kind of sucking back into it. Your fellow Torchwood team members start actually moving in reverse back around the room.
I shut it off.
Well, you got 35, so
Okay.
you've got control over it, whatnot. You timed it just right you stop things back right before you activated the fire.
Oh, they'll never believe me. Okay.
And everyone is moving out. Mrs. Featherston, everything kind of flashed weirdly outside the windows of the kitchen where you're making tea.
I do have one witness. Okay, good.
And
Okay.
then it was like there was just kind of this release and everything. You just kind of get this feeling of everything being kind of normal. Because everything felt a bit off being here in a place that was kind of weird time-wise. Things feel normal, if it's as normal as they do here. For everyone else, you're right at the point where Dr. Cornwallis is about to fire up the flame jets of his machine.
Oh,
You sure this is a good idea?
I take a drink.
Actually, it is not a good idea. It did not work. Well,
It didn't work.
it worked too well.
You destroyed it completely?
You haven't done anything, have you? What'd you just do?
Oh, yeah. Let's go into Mrs. Featherston's study, please. I think she's preparing tea. I'd like to only explain this once, if I could.
I mean, tea is traditionally prepared in the kitchen.
Oh, okay. Well, wherever we have tea. I didn't know if eating in the kitchen.
We just show him where the kitchen is.
Come, wander the building with me in search of Mrs. Featherston and or tea.
Okay, I looked at the others. She's making tea. Where would be the best place to find her?
Yeah, we just lead him to the kitchen. Yes.
Yes.
Immediately upon seeing Miss Featherstone, I start up. Well, I fixed them. They're back to normal.
Don't drink that.
I'm sorry, what?
Don't drink that.
It's okay. I put it down. How much is that?
Well, that depends on your constitution.
Okay. I just shake my head. Nothing else I can do at this point.
To catch the rest of you up, I did turn on the fire. It did have an effect on the ring. Apparently, it cracked it and released time energy that froze you completely in place. I was able to reverse it, which backed you up to the time just prior to me turning on the fire. Actually, some great readings to be. This is going to lead to a lot of stuff, but no, focus. So I think destroying the ring by fire could actually, if destroyed, could release an immense time distortion that might, in fact, suspend the entire world, country, in frozen time. Holding this watch was the only thing that kept me out of that condition.
That grave is quick.
Well, we should not throw that into the forge at all. We should
I would once again recommend not doing that. No.
not do that.
More testing.
More testing. Okay. That avenue is close to us. That means we must deal with the guy directly. As soon as we find him, can we use that ring to find him? I mean, does it leave a trail, or can you track it, or?
Well, now that we're done with the attempt with fire, I am going to get to trying to figure out how to use it to our advantage. And tracking him down will be one of those ways, yes.
Because would he know that you did that?
I don't know as to if it had any effect to anyone outside of our lab. I don't know if
It
anyone.
did.
Oh. How far?
That would have been more easily gauged during the daylight hours when there were more people about.
Have you ever been to Paris?
Did you notice it, Miss Featherson?
Yes.
And how far was you?
I only happened to catch sight of a bird by a tree outside.
Oh my, all the way out the lab.
So is this what the ring is supposed to do?
From my understanding, it controls something.
It's supposed to control the
Crown?
artifact.
Artifact.
So, I have a question here. When my gun works and the other guns don't, is it near the watch or near the ring?
It's near the. It's the watch that drains the energy.
Okay. Then what is different about my rifle than from your sidearms?
Well, isn't it just made with? I mean, my guns are not conventional in any sense. I don't have to load them or anything. They just work. Your gun, you have to actually, make the rounds, put gunpowder in them, and then fire them, right?
Oh yeah, the proper way.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's because it's conventional. We'll go with that. That's a good word.
And your guns don't require bullets?
No, ma'am.
I was looking at the lieutenant, like, waiting for him to explain this because...
Who made them? Or where did you obtain them?
Santa Claus.
That would be so appropriate. I wished, and one day I woke up, and there they were under the tree. Actually,
I had Matt had a pair of magical killing machines. It was the best Christmas ever.
Mom didn't want me to have it because I'd shoot my eye out.
Actually, they were a gift from Lord James. Lord James.
For
That, madam, I cannot explain without Lord James's permission. However, he felt that I was, regardless of how I felt about it, he felt that it was appropriate that Esmeralda and Beatrice be given to me.
she's still looking expectantly at the lieutenant, like, anytime you want to jump into this conversation.
I don't know nothing of his guns. They're newfangled American stuff.
Really not if they're from a lord.
No, actually, no. They were given to me by Lord Elias James.
Well, they're not British Army standard.
No, they're not. Again, I can't explain without his permission. But yes, they don't use bullets. They don't use gunpowder. They don't run out of ammo, and they do not like that. I gesture towards the pocket watch. Back away. Not even funny.
House of pancakes.
Quite intriguing, though. I must get a look at those sometime.
No, you must not.
I could only examine them and duplicate them. That would be amazing. We could fit.
Odds are they'll just leave. I'd rather not test it. They have saved you the lives of many people many times before. I'd like to keep it that way.
Fine.
But anyway, I don't think we were talking about me originally, were we?
No, we were talking about your weapons.
But why are my weapons suddenly so interesting? They've been here all along. We were talking about trying to figure out a way to stop the gentleman who is going to apparently try to take over the empire. I can't believe I just said that.
So what would your guns and the watch have in common that would stop them?
I don't know that my guns are particularly suited to this.
I guess in other words, we can figure out why your guns are affected by the watch. Then maybe we can figure out what.
Who gave you the guns again?
Lord Elias James. I mean, he lives. Oh God, what is it? Lives at the far end of Downing Street. You can go there.
Well, Dr. Cornwallis, I think we should talk with the good Lord.
Wait.
Obviously, a relationship.
Yes, of which I have no problem, but I do not wish to drag Lord James into this, if at all
We're
possible.
dragging him into this. We need to know how the weapons were manufactured. I would imagine to see why this watch has power over them. It could help us in other endeavors.
All right.
It's ultimately it's to figure out why the watch is affecting the ring, and so we have to understand the ring. And
Admittedly, I just got back, but isn't it the fire that affected the ring?
Thank you.
The fire did damage the ring and release the energy somehow, but the watch apparently dampens or absorbs energy from the ring. And the guns.
And the guns, or anything that has, I guess, what might be characterized as an unusual energy source.
Did y'all tell me that it affected the gauntlets too?
Yes.
Okay. And the gauntlets that I create. Wait.
Are powered by what?
So, Mr. James, if you shoot Dr. Cornwallis while he's holding the while he's holding the watch, it absorbs the shot?
I pull my gun and point it at him.
I do. Well, this is
a dark turn all of a sudden. Suddenly it's
for science, Mr. Cornwall.
This is
the Super Troopers scene where they're testing out the bulletproof vests and stuff.
This would be experimentation, Dr. Cornwallis. You must experiment.
Okay.
Is that what you just said?
No, not precisely, madam. But what was said was that the energy, whatever it is that powers my weapons, it is absorbed by the proximity of this thing. That's all.
Begin to drain it.
I don't know that if I'm far enough away, which is about, and I step back, about this far, if I'm far enough away that it would have any effect on the actual round itself. I think the rounds, once they leave the weapon, are conventional. I think they become lead or whatever. I don't know what that is exactly, and no one's ever noted. Actually, I don't recall anyone ever actually telling me they were pulling bullets out of people. I don't know what people are being hit with when they get shot with these. I've never thought to ask them, though. Anyway, fine. If you feel like we need to talk to Lord James, then we should talk to Lord James.
Well, my gauntlet said
relation?
Good.
Is he relation?
Not in the conventional sense. I seem to have used that word a lot lately. Seems to be the only one that applies. It's more of an adopted situation.
I see. I don't see, but I'm going to just say I see to end this conversation.
It is clear. It is clear that Hezekiah is uncomfortable with all of this. The moment that Lord James's name came up,
yeah,
he wants this.
Let me see if I understand this correctly. So it absorbs the energy that powers your unconventional weapons, rendering them useless.
They recover very quickly once it is elsewhere. But yes, while it is there, yes, they are useless.
And the gauntlets are also useless.
It would seem. Which suggests that, well, I mean, the doctor should know what powers the gauntlets. Maybe it's a similar power source. I don't know. Or maybe there's enough similarity that the watch doesn't care.
Do we, remind me of the Victorian, do we have electricity at this point or no? Is it just steam power?
There's electricity at this stage.
It's very, very rare, though.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a rarity.
They didn't have massive grids like you have today.
Right.
But you also,
okay,
you have super science.
Yeah, we have super science and torchwood backing and stuff.
We have super science. That doesn't mean the average people of London have super science.
Right.
Yeah.
But I didn't want me to be discovering electricity before, Ben Franklin had, all that.
Tesla.
You would just call it something else. You wouldn't call it electricity. You would call it,
You'd probably call it Cornwallis factor.
True.
It's already been invented, and then fine, I would, or not invented, discovered. I wouldn't name it after myself.
Okay, so I'm still struggling to figure out exactly what we have here. All right, so that's the watch. The watch absorbs things.
What is the energy source for the gauntlets?
I'm thinking probably some form of electricity. Yeah.
Okay. At which point, William probably lacks the the language for whatever mythical pseudoscience, whatever Dr. Cornwallis would actually say. But assuredly, there's something like that going on, because the gauntlets do not work in any way that would not involve some significantly high technology now. So, dilithium crystals.
Yes.
There it is.
Yes.
Well, I was going to mention it's like steam pressure mixed in with electricity, and Yada yada yada. Sciencey science stuff.
Well, we also have alien tech, recovered alien tech, right? So
That's true.
So there's a little bit of that mixed in there.
It's Ethereum. That's
in
it.
short, I don't know. It just works.
Bold.
Okay, so that's what the watch does. The ring stops time when set on fire?
It exhibited it prior to testing it this way. It exhibited some energy as I was examining it, where it hovered on its own accord. It had a bluish hue to it. The watch stopped that and returned to an inactive state.
But only after exposed to the watch.
Yes, when exposed to the watch. We then decided to try to destroy it, as was the ultimate goal. Fire was the recommended option, so I put it under intense flame. Apparently, it cracked the ring slightly and released some kind of time energy. And that time energy, I believe, is what froze everyone.
So is the ring fixed?
Yes, I was able to reverse that process, and it restored the crack.
So what is the ring
recapture.
supposed to do?
At this point, I am not entirely certain. I'm still exploring that. It has some effect on the artifact. I'm not sure what.
Now,
Okay,
William,
yes.
When the lieutenant, Hezekiah, and Fitz were in George Chestnut's lab, there was a large diagram of the artifact.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can open another window on my desktop.
Oh, right. He transformed the artifact into a crown.
Yes, he did.
No, he built a crown based on designs the artifact gave him. The artifact is still the artifact.
That's right. The ring sits within the artifact, I believe, somehow.
Yes, let me screen share it.
I remember seeing that.
If I can.
That nifty little.
Thinking about it.
Oh my gosh! But someday we're gonna just put in a pot and buy you a new computer that does not mind this sort of thing.
No, the computer does fine. It's Google that likes to crash everything. The computer works fine.
Is it?
Google likes just to run up and crash things for no apparent reason.
Okay, so
according to,
go ahead. Sorry.
According to the diagrams from George Chestnut's lab, the ring connects to the artifact here, at which point what he termed its boon would be released.
So where is the artifact? Anyone?
With him.
Covered that yet?
Yes. Has it? Doesn't he?
You assume that he has it.
Yeah, we're assuming he has it, and he turned it into a crown, didn't he? I mean, he designed a crown.
Based on it, yeah. I think that was got the attention to try to destroy it, because if he controls the artifact with the ring, then destroying the ring means he can't control the artifact. That was the logic.
Thank you. That was the logic.
Wait, say that again.
If the ring controls the artifact, and if we destroyed the ring, then he can't control the artifact.
Yeah, I was just going to destroy it because he wanted it.
Right, precisely.
Well,
at this point, we're his only reasonable target at this point, because he has to have it. So eventually, he will come to us if we wait long enough. The problem is I don't know what he's going to bring with him, or if he's going to just, jump backwards in time till, when I was born and just murder me then. I don't really know. I'm not comfortable.
Is that an option?
No, we're not considering that.
We're friends. So anyway.
I didn't mean for you. But
for him? Yeah.
Not currently, anyway.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Well, so it looks like just...
Wait, here's a question then. Okay, so if it can stop time, And it can keep you from moving in time, which effectively means that you went back in time.
Yes, I time traveled, apparently.
So then, can it move us through time so that we could stop him?
Quite possibly, if I could get it, figure out how it works.
Well, I mean, maybe it works with the carriage. I can't believe I'm saying the things that I'm saying. But
I thought the carriage went forward.
Right. Well, but maybe there's no control mechanism, right? I'm really pushing my level 2 technology here.
Didn't you say there was a flash of light when the carriage was empty?
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was a flash of light when you tried to kill us all with the ring?
It wasn't really a flash. It's more like watching a very large gas lantern flicker out, except in the entire sky of London.
Okay.
Wow, he would definitely recognize that.
Right, exactly. So I'm thinking, can we use that with what we have? I mean, because we still have the carriage. And is there still a rope in there, or
I don't know if the carriage was necessarily special. It was just where he was when he traveled, but I may be wrong.
But he had a ring, and he left the ring, and then he traveled. So maybe the ring opened a hole or something.
Quite possibly.
Experiment, man! Experiment!
That's what I'm good. Do you want me to do that right now?
He had to have noticed. We're going to run out of time.
Yes.
Ironically.
So we either we can't destroy it.
I think this is making it smarter.
But I might be able to depower it or figure out how to operate it. But I'll go do now. Unless you have any further need of me, Miss Featherson.
No. Go do that thing.
Then I'll excuse myself from the debates and go back to the lab.
Damn. John Juice. Yeah. I sit still. And then I run to the bathroom.
Told you.
So what is our plan? Okay, then we should make a plan.
Hezekiah would have an answer, but he's indisposed. Make a plan. I have the murder board up if that helps. And I have to admit, this is cool. I've never played a game where I needed a murder board before.
Murder boards are useful.
They are very useful. I don't know that I'll ever be without one ever again. I may use this as part of life, like work.
Why is it called a murder board? No reason.
I've played a Torchwood game and it helped me get my life in order. It's a very long story.
It's a long story. Like, so wait, you have this work, the library, and then Barnes and Noble on here. I don't see. Yeah, don't worry about it. It works. Then Bob's house. Bob's house.
Don't question my process, damn it.
Honestly, the only thing we really can do is take the fight to him, and we need to do it with haste because he knows that we know. We've already been out to his other house, which, by the way, if we can keep that house, that would make an excellent outside of the city lab for those of us who do things like cause big, giant flashes of light above London and look over towards Cornwallis and then look away. Or if we happen to have, murderous, shape-changing individuals, I look over towards our other good doctor, Dr. Hale, And it would be best if they weren't around lots of people, or if we need to be able to do things somewhat quietly and not draw too much attention. That would be good too. Just thinking.
Well, he wasn't home.
Wasn't home. However, there was. Oh, by the way, did that body ever show up? We sent here. We sent a body here.
It'll arrive soon. It takes a while. It takes time to organize that.
Okay.
Let's see. Reminder of the things that you found in the house. You found, of course, you found the guy who was was a monster. He had him calling cards identifying himself as Nicholas Huffman. You found a letter on George Chestnut's own personal stationery directing him to keep an eye on the house and deal with any intruders directly. And then you found a pamphlet advertising employment at the Ridgeway factory in the Old Nickel, the slum where the first victims were found.
Doc, this is Featherstone. You said that Mr. Chestnut was considered briefly for employment with Torchwood, right?
Yes.
And that information is how we actually were able to get hold of this address. Is there anything else that might give us an idea of like where he originally came from or anything like that? The reason why I ask is that if we can figure out a way to actually use this ring to move in time, then maybe we can go there and disrupt his plans at an earlier date before they come to fruition.
Or we could disrupt his current plans before they come into fruition.
Yes, that is a viable option. You're absolutely right. However, mine is not completely wrong. Depends on how far. The thing is, he's far enough ahead of us, I feel. That...
Well, did anyone check out this factory?
No. I haven't had a chance yet. Nickel factory. That won't be lethal. Okay. Who's doing the nickel factory run?
Well, Dr. Cornwallis is currently occupied.
This is Dr. Hale. Wait, no, she's not.
No, I'm not.
I think Fitz and Dr. Hale should do it.
Why Fitz and Dr. Hale?
Because every time I leave here, something really bad happens.
Well, yeah, you do kind of have a point there.
Yeah, but we were here and something really bad happened as well.
True.
Yes.
Remember that time that Cornwallis broke time?
Remember the time when the werewolf tore its way through the wall?
The entire building, really.
Yeah, really, you did. Yeah.
I would suggest that as this is a place of interest, and former places of interest have been inhabited by beasts, that perhaps the more martial of us should investigate the factory.
So I guess I'm going... if there are beasts involved, Dr. Hale will need to be there to do an examination.
Hey, we could go crazy and just take the entire
We
group
get
of us.
the whole group. That
Do the entire, everybody stay together for once? That would be
Wait. I don't know how to GM this, having you all in the same place for more than 20 minutes at a time. I don't even know what to do with that.
But
there's a wagon outside that we can all load into. I call it Pandora's Fury.
It's weird not having a ship to compress you guys all into periodically. You guys, I put you on a planet, and it's just like everywhere. It's just like chihuahuas are everywhere.
I'm trying to think what would happen if we were all in one place and we could all bring to bear our disparate skill sets to whatever problem arises at that moment.
You mean like you were an assembled team so you could interlock, with the skills that interlock? What? I don't even know where this is coming from. You are a madman.
Unbelievable. All right, we should try it just for once. Let's do it. We're all... All right, Bryce, that's it. We're all going.
I don't know if you noticed the message.
Yeah, give me
Okay.
just a second.
That's
a little
fine.
bit of private chat going on here, guys.
Okay.
Nothing bad is happening.
Fine.
Something.
We'll wait for you guys.
Something bad is happening.
You guys want me to go read Bryce's screen over his shoulder?
You know, yes, we do.
Suddenly, having a player living with me turns dark.
I'll distract him with chocolate peanut butter cookies.
No, my kryptonite. All right, well, so Bill does a thing, and I wait for him to reply to what I just said.
He just
Right,
he just face palmed. That's probably not good.
What's that?
Oh no, we are never getting out of here.
Nope.
Well, it turns out we'll all be here to bring our powers and skills to bear on the problem that's here. That's also still refreshing.
Yeah, it's different anyway.
Yes, it is. It is different. It is true. Every game we play, we scatter like crows. What in the world? Why do we do that?
Well, I mean, to be fair, like in an investigative game, you typically do.
It's true.
Right. Like you have little investigative teams. You don't send 6 people to investigate the same thing.
Generally, no.
Didn't you people ever watch Scooby-Doo?
They split up too.
Well, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy always wound up by themselves. Everybody else stayed together because
they usually got Velma with them.
Yeah.
Who is apparently skilled in a variety of different
I'm pretty much Shaggy in real life. Like I will go investigate the kitchen, especially if there are cookies. And then let me know what happened.
Because that's because Shaggy and Scooby are
That's
potheads.
exactly what Shaggy and Scooby would do. I don't know, Scoob. I think there are cookies in there. We should go see.
Would you do it for one cookie?
Yeah. And that's an actual food, Scooby snacks. I didn't know that.
Yes, they're quite good.
Yeah,
The graham cracker, doggy biscuits.
Cinnamon graham cracker, yeah.
Yeah. They're
They're yummy.
fun to eat. I've eaten them on screen before. Mike always notices them and freaks out.
I know, right? Because
Picking up doggy biscuits.
it was more of a kind of jealous, really. I'm sorry.
I'll let you eating.
Petty of me, actually. When my envy is really what let me down the dark path.
Yeah. My friend Agnes she's going to try to make homemade biscuits for her dog, and apparently the recipe like very heavily relies on baby food. I was like, those sound like they might actually be like people edible.
They are. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, they sound like they're full of sugar too, which is probably not great, but meh.
Not good. Not good. But
That means they'll taste good.
that means your dog will love them.
Yeah. Doc will also have fewer birthday parties we're required to attend.
Yeah, there is that.
That was so awkward.
You just say that because it was.
Wait, you were required to attend a dog birthday party?
Yes.
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 A birthday party for a dog.
He turned 1.
Wow.
No other dogs were invited, just the humans.
Where do you get a dog that turns 1?
Bone?
A
We gotta
bone,
Yep.
a squeaky birthday cake shaped toy.
A birthday
and
cake.
Some birthday cake and some dog treats.
Yeah, that
And
dog.
then you gather all of your chairs, put them in the living room so that all of your guests can just sit in the living room and stare at the dog while he wonders why you're staring at him.
So it's creepy for the dog as well.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just awkward all the way around.
And then you only serve your guests cake,
Yeah.
ice cream, and Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Wow.
And after inviting them over at dinner time, you serve no actual food. You make them sit in the living room and stare at your dog.
It's like, and make them think things like, the dog's cute, but really at this moment, I'm kind of thinking about barbecuing it.
Yeah.
And you think, and they start thinking, I'd rather if you invited me over to help them move.
Or the other thought, the other rather logical thought, we're never doing this again. We will have something else to do.
These people are no longer my friends.
Well, that's the thing though, is like, so Agnes invited us as her friends, and everyone else there was required to attend as her family.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh God.
so you're the only voluntary people there.
Yeah.
Deep awkward, some deep awkward.
My sister-in-law doesn't do that.
Okay, at this point, I gotta say, I
Imagine the conversation with that. Well, hey, we're having a first birthday party for Fido, and you have to come.
Yes.
You don't have a choice.
She mailed out cards, like their photo cards that she created online.
Encouraging you to RSVP.
Okay, so this really would have been worse if it had been a cat.
No, it would have been worse if it was a goldfish.
Then, no, at that point, you stage an intervention. Yeah.
We're not here for the party. We're here because you have a problem, friend.
Yes. I mean, it's
party,
borderline with the dog. It's frightening if it's the cat. Fish require interventions. Because, I get it. Dogs can be good company, but yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah, very special.
We have digressed. So, you were spying on Bryce, I believe, Andrew. So,
Our chat is basically over, so y'all can move on.
Yep.
I think
Okay.
that's resolved.
Yeah. That's
we're leaving. All of us, one and all.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So when we go down to pry Dr. Cornwallis out of his lab,
it won't be just me, because he'll actually defend himself against me by shooting me with something unpleasant.
Cornwallis is down there.
All right, Doctor.
What?
Can you come with us?
But I need to study.
Your skills.
Experiment.
Your skills required.
A quick question. If we're all going, where are we putting the ring and the whatever it is?
We're taking it with us because it's not safe anywhere else.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, I can rig something to keep it contained, I guess.
it was not contained before you set it on fire. Does it need to be contained now?
Well, true. Valid
Well,
point.
he contained it to set it on fire.
That's true. That was the
Point of addition.
Apparently, there's a switch in that wall that makes a big metal door come down, and I never noticed before.
There's so
just
much,
in case in emergencies. I mean,
there's so much around here that happens that we are not aware of. Go around. All right,
let's go. I gather a few things, set them aside, set things in certain places, and then I gather a personal journal and stuff it in my jacket.
And we gather on the Beverly Hillbillies car, and
What time is it right now in the game?
I think it's quite late.
It is. I think it's at this point with all the shenanigans. Well, you went back in time and then came back forward in time a little bit. It's got to be pushing, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 11:30, something like that.
Super late.
A gentleman hour.
I think we need to get some rest and go in the morning.
All day.
Yeah.
That seems very civilized.
We would look like the riffraff we're chasing if we wandered out at this hour.
What difference does that make to the riffraff? Okay, fine. We'll rest.
Thank you.
Well, before we all turn in for a moment, I could have everyone who is not Dr. Cornwallis give me an awareness and ingenuity roll.
10-4.
What's he breaking?
Right off, I am
probably no way in hell it's going to go well.
Everyone's getting story points.
Dr. Cornwallis, you don't have any subterfuge that would help you here at all.
I had considered adding one because this group has taught me how to lie, but I decided not to.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to give me an engine. Just there's gonna be a roll plus ingenuity.
So wait, you told us to roll awareness and what?
You're rolling awareness and ingenuity, and he's just rolling ingenuity.
I'm not gonna spend a story point. Just see what happens.
As much as you want to.
I know I want to metagame it, but I won't.
Okay.
Is it 1d6 or 2? Sorry.
2d6.
Okay.
Plus your awareness plus your ingenuity.
God knows where my dice have gone.
28. I spent the story point, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wow.
Pretty strong. Okay, so in that case, this is going to be Fitz and Hezekiah. So Dr. Cornwallis' gathering things, and he's doing some weird things with his hand and his body, trying to kind of one of those things like when you're trying not to show something, so you kind of move a bit weirdly, so you're trying to like shield something with his body. Get your attention, especially you, Hezekiah, with that 28. You see right through it, so you see it first. On his hand is the ring.
So, Fitz.
Yeah.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, he went and experimented on himself again.
Of course. That with that 16, that'll draw your attention to it as well. There, Miss Featherstone, since you tied and unless Dr. Cornwallis shoves his hand into his pockets, when people start mentioning it, it becomes pretty clear that.
So, Doctor?
Yes.
How do you know which one I was talking to? Oh, because you feel guilty right now.
Ouch!
One of it. You didn't find which. I figured I would save you time. Guilty about what? What do you mean?
Could you take your hand out of your pocket and show that hand to everyone, please?
I take my right hand out, which is the left hand that the ring's on.
Yes. Are you serious now? Take your other hand out. What are you? Like, we can't see that thing? It's bulky.
Everyone was pressuring to decide to do something, and I figured, well, might as well see what happens when someone wears it.
I don't think that's...
Did anything happen?
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, did something happen?
I'm making notations, monitoring time and myself, and I haven't noticed anything happen.
Can you take it off?
I'm sure I can.
Try it. How dare you?
Why don't you see if you can take your precious off there, buddy?
Yeah, I go to take off the ring.
Yeah, that's a nice thought.
It's off your precious. I like that.
Well, I mean, it's probably just a little undersized. I should have put it on the other finger. Do that thing you do, like try to get the finger wet. It's not coming off.
I turned it on to Mrs. Featherston. We have a hand axe around here somewhere, right?
You are not chopping my hand off.
I mean, there are the gauntlets.
Yes, you're right. Fitz, I think your gauntlets can get that off, right?
Probably with his finger or maybe his arm.
These are hands of science.
Those are their hand. Well, one of your hands has been kidnapped by some science.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Chestnut would probably just take the finger off.
Or the hand.
Well, on the positive side of things, it will be harder for him to steal now.
Exactly. We know where it is.
It's on Dr. Cornwallis. It's like handing it to a lamb.
Lambs bleat when they're kidnapped.
He's noisy.
Fair point.
All right. Well, for all kinds of reasons, yes. I guess you are, in fact, coming with us. Let's go.
Are we going still?
May as well.
I do want to point out I did try to resist. Bryce made me make a roll. I botched it, the resist roll.
It's because
your hand's going to start looking like that.
Excuses.
It's a ring.
It's got like people growing out of it. A mouse. Frogs.
Like big red button.
Well, I am concerned. I, for one, am concerned about the aforementioned Plan B.
Yes. Yes, I understand.
Do you?
I actually don't know which was Plan B.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Was that the go in the morning?
No.
Oh, okay.
We don't know what Plan B is. Mr. Chestnut's Plan B.
It's the Chestnut's Plan B.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're kind of in uncharted territory, as it were. We don't know what he's going to do next, but he has to come here at this rate if he wants that ring, which is currently in the safe care of Dr. Cornwallis.
Guess that would make me, what is it called, bait?
I would argue he doesn't have to come here.
It's true. Yeah, I wonder if he sent more than one of those things at once. That might be problematic.
I guess technically they just need to remove my hand. Oh, dear.
I don't know that they would stop at that. They would probably, move various body parts while trying to get at your hand. For instance, they'd start on the other side of your body and remove parts until they got to your hand. That would be impractical. However, they don't seem to be concerned about such things.
You see Barnaby actually growing pale.
I liked the plan where we took the fight to Chestnut. He's merely a man, albeit a man surrounded by transformed beasts.
Agree. And I still go with the idea of we could go at a civilized hour. It is true. However, oh yes, nice finger. However, the American in me wants to do something they won't expect. Attack at an uncivilized hour. You do know that's how you guys lost, right?
With that cold, fair.
Like, I'm sorry. You insisted on fighting from this time to that time. And you wore those coats with big X's on them. What'd you think was going to happen? We aimed at them. I mean,
I don't think this is the
not
time
the
to
X's, just the coats. The coats.
point out your country's.
The point is that we should do something unexpected. We should go now. Oh,
Taking the fight to him.
yes. I really wish you had to use that ring. Wait, no, I don't.
I think really hard about the ring.
I wish I don't know how to use that ring. Oh, Ninja Clan now. So, are we going?
Lieutenant?
He does have a point.
Well, wait, hold on. I got to savor this moment. Both Mrs. Featherston and the lieutenant both agree with me.
I don't know what's happening. The whole group's going to go do the same thing at the same time. We're not bagging on Hezekiah for being an American.
Cats
I
and dogs.
did not get the opposite day memo here, guys.
No, cats and dogs.
Not cool.
I can't believe it.
Totally did not prepare for this, Bryce.
Not in my notes.
No. He didn't either. All right. So
All
now,
right, let's slow motion walk out the door.
yeah.
Yeah, slow motion walk, not because we broke time again, but because we're going out to do a thing, and it's a good place to stop.
I almost see this slow motion walk, and you have Barnaby kind of like halfway start turning around, trying to go back the other way, and you guys having to grab him and drag him.
Yeah. Hezekiah's slowly pulling on gloves.
It's the opening credit scene from Reservoir Dogs.
And this is where we stop, eh?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Oh dear.